How's it going, everybody? This is Dave and welcome back to Talking Wolves for another match preview as Wolves are preparing to take on Burnley at Molineux this coming Sunday. It's going to be an interesting game as Wolves have had such a fantastic start to the season in all competitions. We're really hoping that Wolves can finally grab their first 3 points in the league this season and, no disrespect to Burnley, start beating those teams in sort of the bottom half of the table who on paper we should really be beating. Before we kick off though, guys, go and check out our channel partners over at OneFootball. A link to their app is in the top of the description down below. Fantastic football app which I use for basically all my football news, my football scores, transfer rumours on there as well. You can keep up to date with all the Wolves news. As I say, a link to download them is in the top of the description down below, and it's free on Android, iOS, whatever phone you're on, or tablet. So, Wolves-Burnley. Wolves coming up the back of a fantastic victory in Turin against Torino in the Europa League. It was, of course, it was a tough game. You can go and check out the match review for that one. But Wolves worked really hard. It was a really tiring game. We did start quite a strong team, but the consolation was that we did rest one or two players, such as your Ryan Bennett, your Johnnies, your Dohertys, your Ruben Neves type players, who are now going to be hopefully fit and fresh for this upcoming game against Burnley. In regards to Burnley, of course, they beat us at Turf Moor last year. We did get the better of them at Molineux last season, and that was probably one of, if the most dominant performances I saw at Molineux. However, really struggled to break them down and only managed to score the one goal in the end, courtesy of Jimenez, I believe. So, we're going into this game with high spirits. We've done fantastic free scoring before now, especially in the Europa League. We struggled to, of course, break Leicester down. We did score against them, obviously chalked out for VAR, so got a 0-0 draw there. Great clean sheet. Another great point against Manchester United on Monday as well. So we're currently unbeaten in the league, unbeaten in the Europa League. If we could top it off and get 3 points on Sunday, that would be huge for Wolves. In regards to our opponents, Burnley, they kicked off their season with a fantastic 3-0 victory over Southampton. Ashley Barnes scoring twice and Johan Gudmundsson with the other goal. Believe it or not, in 2019, Ashley Barnes is behind only Sergio Aguero and Sadio Mane for goals scored in the Premier League before this weekend. So he's a player very, very capable of something. And although, you know, he's not the most attractive name and the most attractive player in style, he knows where the back of the net is, Ashley Barnes. Fantastic player for Burnley, and no doubt he's going to cause Wolves a few issues. Starting off with a traditional 4-4-2, especially in their first game against Southampton, starting Barnes up front with Wood. You know that aerial threat is going to be there. The youth of McNeil on the left-hand side as well. He caused us a few problems in the away leg last season and actually scored against us as well. Gudmundsson is their right-hand side midfielder. He scored against Southampton. And of course a back four of Benby and Tarkovsky, who they've managed to keep hold of this summer, despite interest from ourselves, Wolves. Leicester really wanted him after losing out to Maguire as well. And Nick Pope is getting a nod in goal at the moment. Of course, still holding on to Joe Hart, who's been on the bench. In the most recent game, though, they did lose out to Arsenal. They lost out 2-1. Ashley Barnes scoring yet again. He equalised after Lacazette opened the score, and Aubameyang did get a goal back for Burnley, who again started that 4-4-2 with Barnes and Wood up front. More or less, by the looks of it, an unchanged team, and no doubt that's how they're going to start again against Wolves. Very, very solid compartments of 4 midfielders, 4 defenders and 2 attackers. Really old style, old school, and Dyche will know what his team need to do and want to do to win against Wolves. So it's going to be a difficult game. Definitely no easy ride here for Wolves. What's going to be interesting as well, Wolves, especially in the last couple of games, have just been allowed the opponent to have the ball, but we've got something out of both of those games. Sort of similar in Burnley's first game, most recent game, sorry, they had 30% possession. Against Southampton, they had a little bit more of the ball, but it'll be interesting to see who has more of the ball, who susses each other out, who will get the breakdown quickly. Wolves won't really want to allow Burnley to attack too much and try and get them on the counter. I think Wolves need to try and hold a little bit of the ball and do something. We haven't really had a home game yet this season, obviously in the league, where we've been the stronger team. On paper, Manchester United came, they hogged the ball. Leicester at home, they hogged the ball. So it'll be interesting to see how Nuno sets up against Burnley, to see how we do. As I say, for me, the danger man for Burnley would definitely be Ashley Barnes. He's someone that knows where the net is. He's so unpredictable. He can really just score out of nothing as well. In regards to Wolves, lineup for me, it's got to be Patricio in goal. Been fantastic for us so far. He's the number one, and to be fair, I am quite surprised he's been playing so much in the Europa League. I did half expect John Ruddy to have more game time, but it looks like Patricio is the man this season. Back three of Bolly, Cody, and I'd expect Bennett to be reintroduced. I think with that aerial threat that Burnley are going to offer, Bennett is a good bet. I know plenty of people were impressed with Vallejo in the Europa League games, but I think Bennett will come back in for this game in particular. We'll see Vallejo again against Torino, no doubt. Wing back to me now, this is a tricky one. I think Johnny will definitely come back in for Vinagre. Vinagre, who is a player that I said on the match review for the Torino game, I love to watch Ruben Vinagre play, but he was probably one of his worst Wolves performances against Torino despite us winning that game. And if Doherty's fit, he may come back in, but honestly, I can't see past Adama Traore. Was fantastic against Manchester United when coming on. He's been fantastic against Torino, arguably the man of the match. So is that his position now? Have we sort of got him down to a T to play some great football at right wing back? I think he could be the man to sit there. Midfield three, I think it's going to be as expected. Moutinho, Neves and Dendoncker. And the front two for me, believe it or not, is actually up in the air slightly. You'd half expect Jota and Jimenez to start because they are the two, aren't they? But I think with the amount of minutes I've been getting recently, Jimenez did score, but both of them did look a little bit leggy. I think Jota will start. Jimenez, I believe, I'm probably 80% on him starting. If not, I could see Cutrone potentially coming in. I really want to see Cutrone more minutes, especially in the Premier League. I know we're only sort of two games coming into 3 games in, but I just really want to see more of Patrick Cutrone. Pedro Neto as well came on and gave us a really good option against Torino. I know it's not going to happen, but I wouldn't be totally against Neto and Cutrone starting against Burnley. But it'll be interesting to see what he goes with on Sunday and what he goes with on Thursday against Torino for the second leg as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we line up for the next 2 games. And I think however we line up for this game against Burnley, we'll sort of picture how we're going to line up against Torino as well. It's a huge game for Wolves. Score prediction for me, I can see both teams scoring, but I'm going to go and opt with a Wolves victory. You're going to go with Wolves 2, Burnley 1. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. Can Wolves finally grab their first 3 points of the season in the Premier League? It'll be a huge, huge win for us and go for an unbeaten start in the Premier League. Until next time though, guys, enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you all very, very soon.